Part 2. The Patriarchs, Genesis 12 to 50. The establishment of God's covenant with one family, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, that will eventually become a great nation. In Part 1, we watched humanity crash and burn 3 times. Adam broke the peace in Eden. The generation of Noah filled the earth with violence. And at Babel, mankind tried to dethrone God. By Genesis chapter 11, the world is fractured, scattered and worshiping thousands of different idols. If you were God, how would you fix this mess? Another flood? A legion of angels? No, God decided to start small. He decided to plant a seed. In a bustling pagan city called Ur, God speaks to an unlikely candidate, a 75-year-old man named Abram. He has no children, no future, and his wife, Sarai, is barren.
Leave your country, your people, and your father's household. To the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you.
It sounded ridiculous. A great nation from a barren couple? But Abram does something radical. He listens. He packs up his life and walks into the desert, following a God he cannot see toward a land he does not know. But the promise takes time. Decades pass. Doubt creeps in. They try to take matters into their own hands, leading to heartbreak and family conflict. Yet God doubles down on his covenant. He even changes their names. Abram becomes Abraham, father of many nations, and Sarai becomes Sarah, princess. Finally, when Abraham is 100 years old, the impossible happens. Sarah gives birth to a son, Isaac. The laughter of disbelief turns into the laughter of joy. But the story of the Bible isn't a fairy tale. Faith is not faith until it's tested, and Abraham faces the ultimate test. God asks Abraham to take Isaac, the miracle child, the entire future of the promise up to Mount Moriah, and offer him as a sacrifice.
Abraham, do not lay a hand on the boy. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son.
Abraham looks up and sees a ram caught in a thicket. God provides a substitute. On that mountain, Abraham learns that this God doesn't desire death. He desires total trust. The line of promise survives. The promise passes to Isaac's sons, twins named Esau and Jacob, and this is where the family drama gets messy. Jacob is not a hero. His name literally means the deceiver or heel grabber. He tricks his starving brother, Esau, out of his birthright for a bowl of stew. Later, he disguises himself to steal his blind father's final blessing. Jacob spends decades running from his past, a con artist living in exile, until one night God confronts him. Beside the river Jabbok, Jacob wrestles with a mysterious, divine figure all night long. He refuses to let go. Until he is blessed, the figure wrenches Jacob's hip, leaving him with a permanent limp but gives him a new name.
Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans, and have overcome.
The deceiver becomes Israel. He finally reconciles with his brother Esau, not through trickery, but through humility. Jacob, now Israel, has 12 sons. These 12 will become the tribes of the future nation, but history repeats itself. Jacob plays favorites. He loves his young son Joseph more than the others, giving him an ornate coat. Joseph, a bit arrogant, shares dreams where his whole family bows down to him. His older brothers snap. They throw Joseph into a pit and sell him to slave traders, bound for Egypt. They dip his beautiful coat in blood and tell their father he is dead. Joseph's life becomes a roller coaster. In Egypt, he rises to manage a wealthy household, only to be falsely accused of assault and thrown into a dungeon for years. The dreamer is trapped in a nightmare. But God is writing a longer story. Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, has terrifying dreams that none of his magicians can interpret. He hears of a Hebrew prisoner who can interpret dreams. Joseph is summoned. He tells Pharaoh, the dreams are a warning. 7 years of incredible abundance will be followed by 7 years of devastating famine. Impressed by his wisdom, Pharaoh promotes the slave to the second most powerful man in the world. Joseph spends 7 years preparing, saving Egypt and the surrounding world from starvation. The famine hits hard back home in Canaan. Jacob sends his remaining sons to Egypt to beg for food. They find themselves bowing before the brother they betrayed years ago. When Joseph finally reveals his identity, his brothers are terrified of retaliation. But Joseph sees the bigger picture through tears.
You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives.
The family is reunited. They move to the fertile land of Goshen in Egypt to ride out the famine. Genesis ends not with a bang, but with a deep breath. The promise made to Abraham has survived barrenness, human sacrifice, family feuds, slavery, and famine. The family of 70 is safe in Egypt, but as the book closes, a shadow looms over their future. They are guests in a foreign land, and guests don't always stay welcome forever. Join us next time for part 3 as the family becomes a nation and the land of refuge becomes a house of bondage. Next up, Exodus.